Nothing says snowstorm like a nice bowl of carne guisada, aka beef stew. Let's take 1.5 pounds of beef stew meat or chuck roast that you can cut up into small pieces. And we're going to season with all the seasonings that you see here on the screen. Make sure to use your favorite all-purpose seasoning. I'm going in with half of this gravy packet, some Worcestershire sauce, and some browning seasoning. Not much of this broth base because I ran out, as you can see. Finally, throw in some oil, and with some gloved hands, go ahead and mix all that really well. I let mine marinate overnight and started cooking the following day during the storm. The day of, I prepped my veggies and potatoes and carrots. Once my beef came to room temperature, I started browning it in a large skillet on medium-high heat. Once my meat was brown, I removed it and replaced it with my veggies, some white onions, bell peppers, and celery. I did not coat my beef in flour, so I'm adding a little bit of bone broth and cornstarch as a thickening agent for my stew. Feel free to use either or. It only takes a small amount of cornstarch to thicken a stew. Here I'm using some tomato paste, going with about a tablespoon of better than bouillon. Mix that up so it's nice and incorporated. I'm using the rest of my beef broth. I didn't have much, so I used 2 more cups of water, and I'm not worried because that better than bouillon mixed with the water is going to create its own broth. I'm using about a cup of this wine that my sister left at my house and drinking a sip, of course. Now that we have the base for our stew, we're going to start seasoning to our liking. I'm using the seasonings that you see here on the screen. Basically, they're the same seasonings that I use for my beef. After we're done adding all of our seasonings, it's very important that you go in with this beefy onion Lipton soup packet. Give that a good mix and let it come to a boil. Once the stew has been boiling for a couple of minutes, we are going to re-add our beef. Give that a good mix and go in with a bay leaf. Set your stovetop to low and then simmer. We're simmering this for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Make sure to do a taste test and make sure that your beef is as tender as you want it. Here I am adding in my carrots and potatoes towards the end because they only take about 15 minutes to cook. I'm adding in some fresh parsley and fresh cilantro. These herbs really wake up the flavor of your beef stew. Finally, at about 3 hours, my kitchen smells amazing and my beef stew is the perfect consistency. It tastes just fantastic. Here I am serving it over a bed of white rice with some tostones on the side. Make sure you give this recipe a try on your next snow day. Enjoy!